How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Ruffled and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're going to be taking a look at some new riddles from Riddler Coup. If you do not know who Riddler Coup is, I'm going to be explaining it very quickly. Basically, this guy, Riddler Coup, is an actual leaker. This individual has leaked information in the past or given us riddles that led us to actual real information. He did this last year in 2021 for Pokemon Legends Arceus and also Pokemon Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. He gave us real, actual information. He's back giving us info once again with his strange little riddles. And he has a new one, which shows just this random piece of a legendary, and this one is specifically from Radiant Solgaleo, as discovered by Evan then, boy Bovril here, who said, the Radiant Solgaleo is just one of the light shards on the side. Yellow color adds to the CMYK RGB theory. And what he's talking about here is this idea of like, combine like that somehow this has some connection to the light spectrum of sorts, and this relates to the box legendaries, right? So CMYK, it's specifically like I think cyan, magenta, and I don't really remember what the other ones are called, but then RGB is red, green, blue, right? It's just kind of like these color gradients or color choices you kind of have when you do you know, photo editing or really anything to do with colors. It's just different kind of light, you know, kind of separated palette almost, if you want to call it that. I don't really know what the exact word is, but my point is he put this out, but then he also put out this tweet saying, Endgame in 2 days, a collage, which is something he's done before. It's just a collage of pictures which then connect to the actual truth. A collage will be posted to complete this riddle. So many interesting and ingenious fan theories. Good job, guys, but reminder, not safe for work contained in the collage. Yeah, puppy stuff gonna return. So I think it's him saying there's gonna be swearing and stuff like that, you know, in the actual collage. Because last time we had some weird shit in it too. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how that's gonna pan out. But there is a man who has gotten some interesting theories and points to say about this, and that of course is Soul Silver Art, or you know, personal designated leak analyst, okay? My man is back, and he's got some interesting stuff to say. So, he starts these things off saying, decent chance we get Scarlet Violet news this week. So, I wanted to give my final prediction for the new Scarlet Violet gimmick. Gaining a temporary third type in battle. That's what he thinks is going to happen. Caused by light and manifested as colors, maybe auras. And I fully believe there will be a Sword Shield slash raid-like play with your friends online feature. And based on some information I have received, there seems to be a big chance, okay, and this is information that, you know, just cropped up, that there will be some sort of co-op feature in this game, similar to that of Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. So we'll see if that actually ends up happening. But based on like a lot of rumors and stuff that have been floating in the stratosphere of Pokemon information, that seems like something that might actually happen. But as he said, he fully believes that's going to be in there, and I do think so myself as well. It's one of the biggest features from Sword and Shield was the raids and stuff. I think something like that, but maybe even in a bigger scale, might actually show up. So I'm going to stay hopeful. He says, really not sure about new gimmick forms, but if we don't get a lot of new Pokemon, I hope we get these. Much of these predictions are based off of riddles and hints that we've gotten in the past 3 months. The biggest ones being the 3 type related to the gimmick from Coup. And of course, that's relating to his post previously. This is the complete form of this riddle. Always going to make a supplement on old ones, so stay tuned. And then it's just him like referring to the old one here, which is the first teaser of Titan, is the 3 lines, though you won't know what it means maybe until June, July, or August. We'll keep giving, you know, just different information monthly. And yeah, he just, you know, some people had like kind of different ideas on it, which is, this is unbelievable. This riddle is the sequence of how you write the Chinese character, which is this one right there, which if translated to English means type, and 3 means 3, so together that would mean 3 type. We're probably going to get our first Pokemon with 3 types or 3 new types, so anything is possible. Theme of March is gimmick, which is what he said, so that was for previous months. March was the gimmick of this game. April, I think, is the box legendaries, and this month, I don't know what this month is. May, I'm not sure. I think it's something like to do with the regional variants, but I haven't really much hasn't really cropped up from that. But we move on to the next thing, which is also from Soul Silver Art, our local leak analyst, who said, with part 2 comes a brand new post, new thread. You can see all the parts in part 1 theory below if you guys want to check that out, but here's what he goes into. So the only thing is, I wouldn't expect a total breakdown or a resolution from Coup by the end of part 2. It's possible, but he doesn't normally do that unless it's officially revealed. Speaking of which, this could still be a possible countdown to the next Scarlet Violet trailer if there are only 3. So tomorrow is the last day he's going to do this like weird like little thingy-bajingy. But guess what? Tomorrow is Tuesday. Tuesday is the go-to day when they give us a heads up that there's going to be a new trailer or a new presents. Or they just shadow drop a trailer tomorrow or on Wednesday. So basically, we can expect it to be brand new information possibly this week, which I think would be fantastic if true, but we'll have to wait and see if that happens. Now, more picks than this riddle could be complete by Tuesday or Wednesday. And in the end, that's the whole drawn-out riddle could have been about the countdown. Now, on to what I believe is probably close to the solution, starting with the process of how we got there. So, again, this brings him back to big chance, you know, like, it'll start at the end. It's halftime. That means there's at least 4 pictures coming. So the next picture is very important, which, yes, I will see how that turns out, right? We'll find out if the first half and second half are separate or a continuation. Also, as far as Ku has seen, there's no correct theories yet. Now, this may or may not still be about Lugia, but I want to bring your attention more to the pattern and colors of these Pokemon. And as you may have noticed, we do have Lugia, Rayquaza. Of course, we also have in this Groudon and Kyogre as well. Now, interestingly enough, those 3 combine to make white, right? Like, you know, RGB, you know, those kind of have to coexist to create the color white. And, you know, it's kind of strange, right? So, like, the Rayquaza picture tells us that Ku considers the 3rd version box legends as mascots. Also, if the first half is separate from the second half, this also reopens the idea of Lugia getting a form. Lugia is the one out of these 4 that doesn't fit, so the other 3 could point to Lugia, just think. Same thing here. Again, it might depend on the last image, but it may or may not have something to do with Ho-Oh. Now, Groudon, Kyogre, Rayquaza all have the Megas and Primal forms. Lugia doesn't. Imagine if, by the end, the second half looks like this. The other most obvious thing, once again, is if it's a pic of Rayquaza's White Claw, all the pics are still white colored. So if the 5th picture is again white, then you get the point, right? So what he's trying to say here is the pictures he posts of these like claws and stuff, right? The claws of the different legendaries. It could be that he's picking legendaries that have gotten new forms, or legendaries, for example, in this case, that already have forms, right? Like the origin forms of, you know, Dialga, Palkia, Giratina, etc. Or I'm not really sure if they're called origin forms for Dialga and Palkia, but nonetheless, that doesn't really matter. The point is, the Pokemon that already have, the legendaries that have other forms, you know, they're being used as a way to hint towards Lugia and Ho-Oh getting new forms, which I think would be sick, because those are 2 Pokemon that really haven't gotten much. Ho-Oh doesn't have an alternate form as far as I know. Lugia has one, but it's not really canon to the mainline games. It's something that's only in sideline games. It's never been an official mainline game, because if you put it into a mainline game, if you do like all the transferred mumbo-jumbo, you really can't do it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't make a difference, because once you transferred, it'll just be a regular Lugia as far as I know. And he says, and finally we get to the point, there could have been other theories, but the prominent one in my head has to do with the colors of these Pokemon, or at least the colors they represent. We know that Scarlet Violet and probably the Scarlet Violet mascots will have much to do with the light spectrum and or rainbows. So, you know, is it possible, now that we have the 5th picture and start of part 2, it's not a white part of the mascot body. In fact, this mascot, Zekrom, is all black as opposed to Lugia being all white. It remains to be seen if its spike sharpness of it, if that's important at all due to all the other pictures being the same. Or, we also don't know if the blue in the image has any meaning. However, if we add to everything up now, this theory by Mavreen Bacon could have really cracked some of the riddle. If the next pictures are one of the R by Y, then we are definitely on the right path. But to what end, especially? And here's what he says here. Man, no harsh feelings if I'm correct and spoil it all. That's my solution. RGB, CMYK. So that's like the, you know, different kind of mixtures of colors that you can do. So one creates white, one creates black. So for the next riddle, you could use these. Zacian, Cyan. Zamazenta, Magenta. Zapdos, Yellow. Zekrom, Black. Yep, that could definitely work. And basically, you're telling us that the 2 box legendaries are based on the additive color theory, RGB equals white, and the subtract color theory, CMY equals specifically black, which is, I think, Cyan, Magenta, and Yellow, I guess, are the ones that create black in this case. And he continues on, I think. Violet is modern, so I tell you more. RGB is used on digital media and CMYK on printed. Scarlet font is classical. It fits with printed media. Violet is modern, fits with digital. So Scarlet Box Legendary will be based on the CMYK theory, while Violet on RGB, which that would be sick if that's what he's been trying to hint here, because I pointed out these fonts before, okay? These fonts are interesting, because again, one of them literally is has literally a digital digi in its name or whatever. The other one is more classical in its style and the way it looks and everything. It's clearly a, you know, a representation of, like, you know, progress and, you know, innovation and whatever in the future versus the past and tradition, right? And that's something we've been speculating for a long time. Pokemon past and future. We always wonder if that's going to happen. Now, He says, if the yellow picture is a snippet of a Pikachu who was a mascot twice, Pokemon Yellow, it could maybe be Necrozma 2 for Yellow. That would be the tricky, but possible, as it was a mascot for Ultra Sun and Moon. Speaking of Necrozma, what could this all be pointing to then? Rainbows, again? And then we have here, like, I guess so far what we've seen, right? So, if this is pointing to this color spectrum or to Rainbow, Ho-Oh is known to be the Rainbow Pokemon. We could go back to it and Lugia getting something, but also Necrozma is known for its light and color spectrum and rainbows too. Could Ku be hinting to the return of Ultra Necrozma? I don't think so. That's not going to happen, personally. Maybe. But, again, I believe it's more meant to be the Scarlet Violet mascots more than anything else. So, again, I believe this may have to do with the third legend of the trio being some kind of literal rainbow Pokemon that can represent all of the, I guess, the rainbow types. This time, whether it's a spider or a dragon or whatever, a peacock, I don't really know. Now, that's some of the stuff we've seen, right? Now, we scroll down. We get to the point of where we are right now, right? The most recent information, which here it is. So Solgaleo, of course, it's the one I didn't list because it's white in my mind, which makes me question all of this, but still, it's probably the color theory right now. Now, does this mean that we mean about the Scarlet Violet mascots? I still think it's about the third, see above, maybe what the two dragons look like. And, you know, I don't know, guys. I'm going to be honest. Solgaleo fits into this because it is still yellow. It still has that yellow, and it has that secondary form thingy going for it, right? So, I think we're on the right path here so far. I think we're on the right path. I'm not going to lie. I think we're on an interesting direction here. So, what do you guys think about all this? Do you think he's specifically hinting at any relation to the light spectrum? I know, like, some people on Reddit are totally against this idea. Like, no, this has nothing to do with the light spectrum because Scarlet is not the same as infrared. And I'm just like, shut the fuck up. Like, you know, it's not that deep, okay? We're just trying to figure out what Ku is hinting here. And as far as I can tell, I can't tell anything because Ku hasn't said shit, okay? So we're going to wait until Ku 2 days from now, which would be on Wednesday, which is when we're predicting that trailer should be dropping, hopefully, praying to God, because we haven't seen shit since literally February. Once we see that, we'll figure out what he was on about, because I think the legends should be revealed next. It makes the most sense. It's in the most logical next step, right? So we'll have to wait and see if that turns out true or not. We'll have to wait and see, right? But, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for that. Let's move on to the next thing. So, this was a random little picture show posted just on 4chan. Just a little piece of a blue fin. I don't even know. The guy says, hey, I've been following the theories on Twitter about the legendary Pokemon with great attention. Many of you are already on the right path because they definitely have something to do with the topic of light, and the RGB CMYK comes pretty close. I can talk about the middle parts of the two legendary models, but because the black middle and the white middle are the main focus of the two cover Pokemon. They are not fully colored in colors, but have specific body parts in the color that stand out. The black has something to do with one dragon's fighting type, like flashy black winged hands, while the white has something to do with electricity. Unfortunately, I can't say any more without being conspicuous. The next trailer will reveal that. Well, we'll have to see if Mr. Strange-O here is going to have anything to do with that. But that's not the final thing. The final thing we have is from Slow Speedrun, which he's got a bit of a theory here, a little bit of an idea. He says, new evolution confirmed. The middle of the right circle is covered in plastic, but also perforated like the rest. This is Lego's future-proofing, so they can easily re-release the set after the new form is revealed. And this is basically a Lego set specifically for Pokemon, which I didn't even know that was a thing. I'm not going to lie. I know there's like some other nano block looking thing for Pokemon. I didn't know there was an actual Pokemon Lego. I thought that the actual license was held by a different company, but I guess I didn't know that. But nonetheless, interesting, right? It could also just be that they put like the Eevee on the other side there, and they left this spot open just because there wasn't anything else to have there, right? There just wasn't anything there. But he's trying to say, and he's trying to argue here, that they wouldn't have left it the way they did because the way they did it is stupid because it's made in a way where they can reuse this in the future, right? And redo it in the future in case there's something added, which I think is interesting. But I don't know if that really gives us any proof on there being a brand new evolution. I don't really know the likeliness of a brand new evolution. I feel like the evolutions are just kind of in the water right now. I don't know if they're going to really happen. But ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for today's video, guys. If you did enjoy, drop a like down below. Make sure to subscribe. And I will see you all in the next one. Peace out and bye-bye, ladies and gents.